Diabetes is at epidemic levels here in Florida, and we're all paying the cost through higher insurance rates and higher taxes to support programs like Medicare and Medicaid. But as I-Team investigator Adam Walser uncovered, some people are profiting on the black market while others risk getting sicker.
Desperation reached a flashpoint at this Brandon convenience store.
Please don't assault him. Please don't assault him.
After posting an ad on Facebook selling insulin, this man showed up with his wife and kids for the deal.
We're trying to do a story about how this is hurting people. We don't want to use your name or anything, okay? We're not trying to hurt you.
He later calmed down and agreed to talk to us if we didn't identify him.
My kid have to eat.
And this stuff's expensive.
Very.
When you sell it to other people, they're desperate, I guess, right?
Yeah, because the people don't have the money either to get it. I mean, people don't have insurance.
The pens he was selling for $30 each, selling pharmacies for 3 times that amount.
If you're a diabetic and you don't have easy access to this, what's going to happen?
You can die.
This woman advertised insulin on Craigslist. She showed up with 2 unpackaged pens she said her son got from Medicaid. She says she knows selling insulin is illegal, but said her family needed the money. We found other people offering to sell insulin on Craigslist in Orlando, Miami, and Jacksonville in Florida, as well as in New York, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C.
It's an epidemic in our country.
USF Healthcare Vice President Jay Wolfson says the diabetic black market is growing fast.
What is the big concern about buying these kind of supplies?
We don't know if they've been contaminated, and we don't know what happens when people don't use what they are given and place their health at risk.
Road signs offer sellers cash for test strips. Online videos show how to get rich buying and selling.
Sell them today for up to $32 per box.
Websites offering to buy strips show they pay about 20 cents on the dollar for the product, but sell big dreams.
I got my money, yay!
It works because you have enough vulnerable people, low-income people, people who are willing to take the risk that they might get a little sick.
Testing supplies are then resold on Amazon and eBay for up to 3 times that price, but still cheaper than at retail pharmacies. We bought these test strips that retail for $60 for less than $20 from a Tampa area eBay reseller who had recorded 7,800 transactions. While it's against the law to sell prescription drugs online, you can legally sell diabetic testing supplies, unless they come from a free government health program.
Well, if you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, your testing supplies may be covered.
Like Medicare, Medicaid, or the VA. A recent Inspector General report says Medicare spends more than $1 billion a year on test strips and says the program is vulnerable to fraud, waste, and abuse.
My income was not supporting a house, a life, and the strips.
Haitham Khalil of Wesley Chapel spent so much money on test strips he started his own company, representing a small Tennessee-based diabetic testing supply brand. His strips sell for 14 cents each, unlike major brands.
$1.70.
$1.70 for this.
What do you think it cost them to make?
2 to 3 pennies.
In other countries, the government can force product pricing. We don't do that here.
And now we're up to 50 orders a day.
Khalil's sales are doubling every month, and he's happy to help other diabetics.
It's got to be managed. And without being tested, you're not going to know.
The man who attacked us gave his insulin away to an uninsured friend.
I cannot imagine people who don't have a way to get it.
Medicaid now pays for his medicine, but he says the high cost of diabetes already ruined his life.
It's taken a toll. It's hurt you.
Yeah, especially because I had family and kids.
I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser, taking action for you.
A local company claims it cleans old mattresses before reselling them. But what we found hiding inside might make you cringe.
Investigative reporter Adam Walser looks under the covers to see if the company lives up to its promise.
New mattresses can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, so it's not surprising that plenty of customers flock to Payless Furniture, where full mattress sets sell for $109.
They said, oh, this is a good bed.
You know, everything I'll give you the sign that it's brand new.
But they're not exactly new. Payless picks up loads daily from this Tampa mattress refurbishing plant. They come out with new covers in plastic bags, but we wanted to see what was really inside, so we bought some. The mattresses are cobbled together piece by piece in this plant.
We pick them up, all the mattresses and used mattresses, we pick them up to refurbish.
Owners Tony and Francisco Paredes say most of their mattresses are recovered trade-in mattresses from Sears. But during several days of surveillance, they bought used mattresses from just about anybody.
Now, does it bother you that the guy with the pickup truck may have picked that up out of a dumpster or something?
We don't know. I mean, they just bring it, you know, to us. And
we followed this seller and saw him pick up a box spring from a trash pile. The factory owners say they only refurbish the cleanest ones, then resell the rest.
But so the company, I sell it. They sell it too, making more money.
So this is a big chain.
Big chain.
A lot of people dealing in used mattresses.
They stuff mattresses with used materials, but say a few squirts of this blue liquid sanitizes them.
Even if there is urine or something on there, if you spray it,
that's supposed to take care of that.
But does it? Forensic scientist Anna Cox volunteered to help us find out.
So you can see visually from just removing this how dirty this mattress is.
Cox has been a crime scene investigator for 20 years.
These appear to be different mattresses that are just patched together, and you really don't know the history.
She didn't like what she found.
You've got little black things here. It looks like a hair.
Looks like it might be a little yellow, like a urine possibly, or something.
Could be that. Could be sweat. Could be the excessive amount of skin cells.
And when the black light comes out...
Holy cow, that is super bright.
Cox says bodily fluids like semen, sweat, and urine are what typically glow.
It's very, very bright right here. Very bright.
Would you sleep on that?
I would not.
We show the factory owners the pictures.
Look, that's a bed bug there.
Yeah.
That's a bed bug.
That was on the mattress we bought.
We don't the only one that sell mattress to Payless. He have a different kind of company.
Payless declined an on-camera interview, but said the Paredes factory currently supplies all of their remanufactured mattresses.
So these don't have tags, right?
So right now I don't have a tag on those.
State law requires remanufactured mattresses to have labels saying they contain used materials.
They thought it's in a new package, it's in plastic, it looks new, but then they find out it's refurbished.
Yes.
And so they're a little upset.
The good thing is that we don't sell as a new, we sell as a refurbished.
Right, but if it doesn't have the tag, maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
Each offense is a misdemeanor, punishable by a $500 fine and 60 days in jail. But nobody's investigating. Since the Attorney General's office, Florida's mattress police, says nobody's complained.
It's really wrong, and it's also disgusting.
Would you have spent a little more to get something that you knew was brand new?
Definitely, with no doubt.
I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser, taking action for you.
The Pinellas Park mayor is under fire tonight for reportedly using her office for personal gain.
I-Team investigator Adam Walser took the accusations of misconduct straight to the top as she vies for re-election.
The time is 6 p.m.
Mayor Sandra Bradbury starts city council meetings on time, but is usually late paying her water bill.
Tried to work on it and get it taken care of. I actually even tried doing an app on the bank.
Bradbury received 35 delinquent payment notices in 36 months, running up a balance of more than $800. She paid late fees along the way, but the city never shut off her water.
Do you think you got any special treatment from the city?
I would hope not.
They want to shut my off, and I got to shower and shave.
Michael Kruppa got a shutoff notice last month.
Do you think they'd let you carry $800 balance on your water bill?
Delinquent? Heck no. They're going to shut me off for $60.
The city can cut off water service if a customer doesn't pay in 40 days. Then residents have to pay a $25 cutoff fee plus up to a $35 restoration fee. It didn't take us but a few minutes to find nearly a dozen people who had their water cut off.
What does that mean if you have that extra 35 or 50 bucks?
That means I don't put food on the table.
And that's happened to you a few times.
Mm-hmm.
3,000 people, according to the city, had their water cut off last year. You were not one of them.
And that's unfortunate.
Should you have been one of them?
I guess I should have been.
That's not the only department it appears gave Bradbury a break. Last July, code enforcement cited her for multiple violations at her home and gave Bradbury 5 days to correct them. It took her more than 3 months to come into compliance, but they never fined her.
Do you feel like you're in compliance right now?
I would hope that I was, because I haven't been asked to do anything else.
When we stopped by her house the day before our interview, There were all-terrain vehicles in the driveway and side yard, a broken fence, and lots of junk, all violations noted in the last complaint.
And those are things that we're working on.
But that's not where special favors end. Mayor Bradbury also got free legal representation from City Attorney James Denhart for something that had nothing to do with city business. He represented her when a credit card company sued her for not paying.
He asked if he could do it himself.
And he didn't charge you anything?
No, he did not.
He was going to hearings. He was scheduling hearings.
Cooley Law School professor Jeff Swartz says Denhart shouldn't personally represent Bradbury.
It's her job to say, no, thank you very much for the advice, but you can't represent me. It was also his job to say, I can give you a little advice, Mayor, but I'd have to refer you to another lawyer.
Bradbury votes on Denhart's firm's $450,000 annual contract.
Do you think this could have influenced his decision to basically offer you in particular pro bono representation?
No, I don't, because I think that he's an honorable man.
Denhart said he couldn't talk about legal work he did for the mayor due to a settlement agreement, but denied there were any ethical issues.
Hey, Counselor, I'm Adam with ABS. How you doing? Good. No, you said you couldn't talk about the specifics of the work you did. Can you say...
And after that council meeting, he rolled up his window.
Can you talk to us, sir, about any of this stuff?
And drove away.
I apologized to the citizens who felt that I had special treatment. I never had asked for special treatment from any of the city employees, and if they felt like they needed to give it to me, I apologized to them.
I'm I-Team Investigator Adam Walser, taking action for you.
Renters might not know what is going on under their feet. In Florida, landlords don't have to tell renters about sinkholes on the property, and that could put your family in danger. But ABC Action News I-Team Investigator Adam Walser is taking action to try to help change that.
It matched everything that we ever wanted in our dream home.
Brandy Mickey and Brandon Powell didn't know there'd been a sinkhole at their rental home until things started changing after Hurricane Irma.
This is a separation. The slabs, are shifting and separating and raising apart from each other.
Things just started falling apart, literally, and now it's just a nightmare.
New cracks in the driveway.
You're 5.5, almost 5 3/4 inches there.
Along floors, on ceilings, and in walls.
We started walking the home, and there are staircase cracks all along the home.
Neighbors then told them the house was underpinned years earlier because of a sinkhole, so they asked their landlord.
And he's like, the home has been pinned in 2010. The home is safe. You have nothing to be worried about.
By then, they were 3 months into a $2,200 a month rent-to-purchase agreement.
It should be disclosed, absolutely, knowing that we're putting all of this money in towards the purchase of the home.
In Florida, you have to disclose sinkholes when you sell a home, but landlords don't have to tell renters about them. A tenant was renting this underpinned sinkhole home in Land O'Lakes when it collapsed in July.
I was unaware until you kind of brought this to my attention, the gaps that there were in the disclosure requirements.
State Representative Sean Shaw says those gaps are unacceptable.
Wouldn't you want your family to know? I'd ask the landlord that. Wouldn't you want your family to know if they were renting a home where sinkhole activity was taking place? Yes. You can't answer with a straight face anything other than yes.
But thousands of Floridians who currently live in sinkhole rental homes may not have been given that information.
They're saying that they need to fix the home.
We showed Joe Woolsey a sinkhole engineering report from 2007 that recommended grouting to repair his Pasco County rental home. But records show the house was never fixed.
That's a shock to me. Did not know nothing about that.
Some renters in this Tampa condominium complex didn't know they lived over sinkholes until repairs started.
I wouldn't have moved in. No way. Not risk my family, not risk myself.
The Wintry apartment complex in Port Richey has documented sinkhole activity at 3 buildings.
Did you know there was a sinkhole here?
Absolutely not.
Mostly you find the majority of people here are disabled.
They couldn't get out very fast.
No, we only got one way in and one way out.
The property manager didn't return our calls. Neither did the administrator at the Golden Sunset Assisted Living Facility in Newport Richey, where records show sinkhole activity as stabilized. Meanwhile, Brandon and Brandy moved out at the advice of an engineer who inspected the home.
We don't feel safe in the home.
They now face eviction.
I fully intend to file this as legislation.
While landlords aren't breaking the law by withholding that information, Representative Shaw hopes to change that by sponsoring a bill to protect future renters.
When you're signing the lease, somewhere in the lease, if I get my wish, there's going to be a disclosure if there was a sinkhole there.
I'm I-Team Investigator Adam Walser, taking action for you.